Paramount is already a dying company that has, and especially Nickelodeon, has been like bleeding employees. So Godspeed to everybody at Avatar Studios who is going to have to try and promote this thing.
I am worried about the future of Avatar more than I've ever been. As I'm recording this, it is the 20th anniversary of Avatar: The Last Airbender, a massive milestone. One of the most beloved animated series of all time has officially been around for 2 decades, and yet we've gotten almost nothing to mark the occasion. No official artwork, no special announcements from the official Avatar channels, not even a tweet acknowledging it, although right now I'm seeing that there is a community post on the YouTube page saying that, hey, 20 years ago today, we have Avatar, which is lame in my opinion. Instead, we get this rush announcement for a new series that's more likely a response to a leak than a proper celebration of the franchise. And look, I'm not saying I'm not excited. I absolutely am, because I do like Avatar and I want more Avatar content. But something about this feels off, and I think we need to talk about it. Before we dive into everything, I just want to quickly apologize for stepping away from the channel for a couple of months, but I promise it was for a good reason. I was off finishing the 3rd book in my young adult series, which you can actually pre-order right now. But even while I was away, I was keeping up with everything going on in the Avatar fandom, and let me tell you, it has been a roller coaster. So let's talk about this new show, Avatar 7 Havens. This is the new animated Avatar series, and yes, I did talk about this 2 months ago when we talked about the leaks, which everybody was denying and saying like, no guys, take this with a grain of salt. Let's just say that, hey guys, we kind of know what we're talking about over here in the Avatar space. Folks like the Avatarists, Night Edge Media, Airspeed Prime, we don't say these things just to say these things, guys. It's coming from somewhere. But yes, this is the first new animated Avatar series in over a decade, and it's officially greenlit for 26 episodes, which will be split into 2 seasons, or books 1 and 2. It's coming from Avatar Studios with the original creators Mike DiMartino and Brian Konietzko back as executive producers. And that all should sound amazing, right? Here's what we know. The show is set in the world that has been shattered by some kind of massive cataclysm, and we're following a young earthbender who discovers that she's the next Avatar after Korra. But there's a catch. People don't see the Avatar as a hero anymore. Instead, she is viewed as humanity's destroyer. She's being hunted by both human and spirit enemies alike, and on top of all of that, she has a long-lost twin who is somehow tied to her identity as the Avatar. Together, they have to uncover their origins and save the 7 Havens before the last remnants of civilization collapse. Now, of course, if you know about the leaks, we know the names of the Avatar and of the twin sister, but we're only going to be talking about what's officially public right now, so this is going to be a non-spoiler, non-leaky video, so if you're afraid of that, don't worry, I'm not going to be talking about that in this video. And I will say that, as I said in the leaked video, I am actually quite excited for the storyline, though I do understand and acknowledge that I think this might not go over well with most in the fandom. I am personally a big fan of Brian Konietzko and Mike DiMartino's storytelling, and that they really do take very big swings. And I appreciate about storytelling. It feels like more like it's art than it is of commerce and, just being something to put into the content machine. And I like the big swing of having the whole status quo of the world kind of turned over. I was one of those people who were okay with the past lives being destroyed in the Legend of Korra series because it showed actual consequences. But of course, I am, I would say, in the minority with that thought process. So this stuff does worry me in terms of the larger fandom, but for me personally, for me, Antoine, I'm actually quite excited for this. Now, unfortunately, this announcement doesn't feel like it was planned. In fact, according to a former Avatar YouTube community manager, it probably wasn't. Apparently, this news dropped because details about the show were leaked, a few months ago. And if you look at how this was revealed, that makes total sense. There are no character names, no concept art, no release window, and no promotional images.
They don't understand the levels in which they need to get their shit together for this series. And this announcement has me side-eyeing. I also know, given that Nickelodeon rebranded and everything recently in the past few years, I think it's going to be more kid-focused, more like Avatar than Korra. So I know that the older fans they're going to be in a tizzy no matter what. But I have high hopes for this thing. I do have high hopes for this thing. I don't have high hopes for how Nickelodeon and Paramount are going to market it though.
This is not how you announce a major new entry in a franchise. This is like if Disney announced a new Star Wars movie with just a text post, which actually would be fine for Star Wars because that fandom knows there's a much more bigger and whole machine behind that. They know more movies and shows and products are coming, and whenever they get like a teaser image or, a teaser post, they usually know they're going to get something more official, like, a week or a month out. Not like, what we got going on right now in the Avatar fandom, where we have to wait, months after, or not even months, like really years, until we get any kind of official word. With Avatar, we simply don't have that security. Text posts are all we get for years at a time, and it's exhausting. And speaking of things not going smoothly, this same former Nickelodeon employee also said that the upcoming Avatar Aang movie is supposedly in production hell, which is a surprise to absolutely no one who has been following this. Currently, it has a release date of January 2026. Just for context, this video is being made in February 2025. Usually, when a movie is less than a year away, we at least have a teaser image. At bare minimum, we have an official poster. We have none of that at all. We have nothing. And I suspect that we're not actually going to see the movie drop in January 2026. It's probably going to be pushed back into later spring, which is what the Avatarist is reporting right now. And I personally think that it might actually get pushed back all the way to 2027, honestly, by the rate that is going right now. And look, maybe I'm just in a bad mood right now, but I'm not feeling confident about this. We are less than a year away from when this movie is supposed to be released, and we have nothing. And if you're thinking, well, maybe they're just being secretive and, keeping their cards close to their chest. No, this isn't normal. This is not how you market a major animated theatrical release. If this movie really was on track, we would have had something by now. And I have to ask, does Paramount even know what they're doing with this franchise? It's really sad because you see things like Transformer 1, which is a movie that just came out recently and had no marketing backing, but everybody you hear who's seen that movie adores it, I really wish that maybe, I didn't think the Netflix series was all that great. I didn't think it was terrible, but I think it was really mid. But Netflix clearly has the backing and the money. If you look back at the Netflix rollout of the marketing for that Avatar show, it was so great, so brilliant. I don't know if there's any way that we can just have the marketing team of Netflix, I don't know, shift or Paramount just sell off the Avatar property to Netflix or something, with Mike and, Brian at the head. But right now, man, this just isn't it. And I'm really, really kind of depressed about this. But I want to hear from you all. Do you think Avatar can finally break into the mainstream like Star Wars and Marvel? Or are we stuck in this cycle of bad marketing and wasted potential forever? I'm hurting right here because I'm feeling like we're just going to be in this perpetual cycle of just not having really great marketing. And I'm fine with, Avatar being more niche, or, kind of second, third tier, below the likes of Marvel and Star Wars. But it just hurts, man. It really hurts because I really do enjoy this franchise, and I want to see the best for it. It's like seeing your brother or your child, and you are proud of them, and they have all this potential, and you want to share that with everybody else. But it's just let me know in the comments below, and I'll check you guys on the next one. Peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.